Magandang araw mga manita ko ka. I am Patrick John Katudan from Section 3 Sierra I-A1-11 at ipipresent ko po ang explosives. So bago tayo magsimula, punta muna tayo sa lesson objectives. Identify the kinds of explosives and the effect of explosion, and explain the characteristic of explosive and explosive analysis. So proceed po tayo. So, describe the chemistry of explosive, why it's very easy for terror group to make their own improvised explosive device or IED, and differentiate low and high types of explosive. So, chemistry of explosive. Chemistry of explosive device may be mechanical, chemical, or atomic. So, mechanical explosions occur when a closed system is heated or a violent pressure can occur. However, this doesn't make a heated can of soup an explosive. So, explosive is any substance or device that can be made to produce a volume to rapidly expanding gas in an extremely brief period. And so, an improvised explosive device or IED is a homemade bomb, and that device usually made by terror group, and they have knowledge to create a IED and use to attack the government or people to harm them or to harm us. So low explosive and high explosive. So low explosives are mixture of chemicals that burn very rapidly but subsonically as opposed to supersonically, meaning that they deflagrate. So they consist typically of fuel and an oxidizer. The black powder used in fireworks is one example of low explosive. Black powder burns very quickly, but to get it to go bang, we have to contain it. While high explosive consists of materials that typically combine the reacting elements in the same molecule. This allows them to react much faster and they detonate. So, detonation involves supersonic shocks waves that pass through the materials, causing chemistry that happens quite a bit faster than burning. So, high explosives do not need to be contained to make their bang. So, nitroglycerin, tritotoluene, and RDX are high explosive. So, yun nga po ang pagkakaiba ng low explosive and high explosive. So, sa low, yun nga po yung mga pwede yung mga paputok lang, mga fireworks. Sa high explosive, ito po yung mga atomic, mga pang atomic bomb po. So, proceed po tayo sa next slide. So, classify the explosive based on composition. So, na-discuss na natin kanina yung low explosive and high explosive. So, sa low explosive, meron tayong propellants and pyrotechnics, and sa high explosive naman, meron tayong primary explosive and secondary explosive. So, meron din tayong mechanical explosive. So, mechanical explosives is one that depends on physical reaction such as overloading a container with compressed air, such as device has some application in mining where the release of gas from chemical explosive may be undesirable but otherwise is very little use. Example includes an overheated boiler or example tin can of beans tossed into a fire. Boiling in liquid, expanding vapor explosion are one type of mechanical explosion that can occur when a vessel containing a pressurized so liquid is ruptured, causing a rapid increase in volume of liquid evaporates. So nuclear explosive is one which a sustained nuclear reaction can be made to take a place with almost instant rapidity, releasing large amounts of energy. Almost all nuclear explosive devices that have been designed and produced are nuclear weapons intended for warfare. For example, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Japan in 1945, containing only about 64 kg in 140 pounds of highly enriched uranium release energy, equaling about 15 kilotons of chemical explosive. So, characteristics of explosive. So, In general, an explosive has four primary characteristics. So it is a chemical compound or mixture ignited by heat, shock, impact, friction, or combination of these conditions. And seconds upon ignition, it decomposes rapidly in detonation. So, third natin is there is a rapid release of heat in large quantities of high pressure gases that expand rapidly with sufficient force to overcome confining forces. And last is and the energy released by detonation of explosive produces four basic effects. So this is rock fragmentation, rock displacement, ground vibration, and air blast. So, yan po ang classify ng explosive based on composition. So, next po tayo sa ating next slide. So, explain why suicide bombers are very dangerous. So, because suicide bombers accepts their own death as a direct result of the method used to harm, damage, or destroy the target. Siyempre, nakakatakot to kasi yung suicide bomber, sila ay may dala-dala ng bomba, syempre pupunta yan sa maraming tao para pasabugin yung lugar na yon. So maraming mabiktima ng suicide bomber. Kasi suicide bomber ay tanggap na nila yung kanilang kamatayan. Talagang gagawin nila lahat para pag yung pagkasabog ng kanilang katawan ay maraming madadamay. So, yan po ang madalas gawain ng mga terorista. So, if you are the police officer on duty, how would you secure the evidence and blast area and describe the purpose forensic analysis? So, if I'm the police officer on duty when the explosive happened, I'm going to secure the victims, and after that, I'm going to cordon the area and investigate the blast site and find crucial clues to lead the investigation by thoroughly documenting the condition of the scene, including any structure damage and injuries or facilities. So, examining will analyze intact explosive and results as well as intact or fragmented device components. The overall object of forensic explosive examination is the identification of any explosive present if intact explosive particles are found. The types of explosive producer and brand name may be identified kung mahanap po ng analysis yung intact na naiwan sa blast site. So, yan po ang features ng forensic explosive analysis. So, balik na po tayo sa front page. So, dito na po natatapos ang aking report. Mamunit na ka. Maraming salamat po and God bless.